are the reason your hair is not growing. It is not your hair. And that is the hardest truth I also had to learn. Hey y'all, it's Sheree. What's up? How y'all doing? I hope all is well. As you can see from the title, today we're going to talk about how to grow out your natural hair, long and beautiful. My hair is in a puff because I really prefer a puff on me, but my hair is surely down my back. I big chopped my hair last year, and over the course of 11 months, I was able to retain 7 inches of hair. Hair on average grows half an inch a month, so somehow I was able to grow more than the average amount of hair and also retain it, right? Most people on average will only retain about 3 to 4 inches of hair a year, but I was able to retain 7 inches. So I think I'm a good person to talk about how to grow out natural hair, because that's what I've been doing. So let's get into it. These are going to be tips that may be a bit unpopular. Y'all know I keep it real. The first tip to growing out natural hair is you have to put in the work, right? Everyone cannot be a lazy natural and grow long hair. There's a lot of people on YouTube that, preach that they didn't do much, they just used water and grease, they never deep conditioned, they never trimmed, they never used conditioner, they only shampooed, they never washed their hair for an entire year. Those people are an anomaly. They are exceptions to the rule. They are not the rule itself. Most of us are going to have to do a whole lot of work to grow out our hair. It's so easy to say, do nothing, sit back and watch your hair grow. But that's just not my ministry. That is probably not your ministry. As someone that has fine natural hair, and that refers to my individual hair strands. I have a very fine hair. I can't just sit back and do nothing. I gotta do something. I gotta do my protein treatments. I gotta deep condition. I gotta finger detangle. I have to do so many things to get my hair to retain length. I was natural for most of my life. That is not what a lot of people know about me, but I only had a relaxer for 3 years of my life. And this is the longest my hair has ever been, well, almost, because there was a time when my hair was like 18 inches long. Well, we're going to get back there. But this is the longest my hair has been in my life, even though I've been natural most of my life, because when I was growing up, my mother didn't have the knowledge and the tools to grow out my fine natural hair. I had pretty much shoulder length hair for most of my life, and in the Black community, that is considered long, but we know that's not long at all. I have the propensity to grow hair to my butt and beyond. We see it all the time. There's women out here with hair literally to their thighs, right? But I gotta put in the work. And you have to put in the work. You can't just sit by. You can't look at my regimen and say, wow, you're just doing too much. I'm too lazy for that. Well, if you're too lazy for that, you're not going to grow long hair. You're just not. You have to put in the work. You have to do the work. You have to be serious. You have to be consistent. You can't just do a deep condition one time a month and think your hair is going to retain length. For those of us who have to do a lot of work, it's going to take a weekly deep condition or a bi-weekly deep condition. You can't just sit by and think your hair is going to grow and retain length. It is going to grow, because hair grows regardless, unless you're sick or something like that, or you have some internal issues. Hair is going to grow regardless, but you have to be able to retain the length. The name of the game is retain the length. Okay, I've ranted enough about that. Let's move on. This point kind of goes back to point number 1. You have to stop using everything you see and hear on YouTube as Bible. A lot of people on YouTube just have a platform to talk. Once you have a camera or an iPhone and internet connection, you can post a video on YouTube and you can say whatever you want to say. It doesn't mean that the information is accurate. It doesn't mean that that information is going to be beneficial to the person watching it. Even watching me, I mean, damn, click this video off right now because I may not even know what I'm talking about, okay? I mean, seriously, don't click off though. But yeah, like every person on YouTube doesn't know what they're talking about. And secondly, they may know what they're talking about, but they know what they're talking about for their hair. This is what works for them. These are the things that they do that benefits their hair. They have no idea what benefits your hair. You have to learn what benefits your hair. When you see me use a shampoo, and you see me use a conditioner, and you see me using my Ayurvedic recipes, that is what works best for me. But what works best for you, you have to figure it out. YouTube is only a guide. YouTube is a guide. You have to sit in front of the mirror, you have to sit with your hair, and you have to learn your hair. Ain't nobody on here gonna learn your hair for you. You have to, going back to point number 1, put in the work. Do the work. Use YouTube as a launching pad for your own success. And this is something that a lot of us miss. I miss it too. We have to be careful with physical manipulation. Physical manipulation is anything you do to your hair, whether it be washing, detangling it, styling it. At every step in your wash day is a point to damage your hair. When you pre-poo, you may be detangling too rough. You may be in a rush. You may not want to do your hair that day. You go to shampoo, you're not shampooing in sections. If that is what works best for you, you're just doing a whole little blob because you watch an Herbal Essences commercial. You just like do break. You go to condition. You're not using a good conditioner. You're not using a conditioner with slip, and you're breaking. You go to styling and you're rough on your hair. You're just like. So there's so many points in your wash day where you can break your natural hair. So at every point in your wash day, you have to take your time. If you don't want to do your hair, honey, don't do your hair. Your hair should be an opportunity for you to get and be one with yourself, relax, and enjoy your time. I love washing my hair. I look forward to washing my hair, not only because I share it here on YouTube, because it's a self-care opportunity for me. There's so many distractions and obstacles in life, and my hair is not one of them, not anymore, right? I enjoy doing my hair, but physical manipulation is the number one reason for a lack of length retention. Your hair is not growing because it's breaking, because your hair is growing, it's just not retaining the length because of you physically doing something, using your hands or using a comb or using a brush to damage it. You are the reason your hair is not growing. It is not your hair, and that is the hardest truth I also had to learn. You're trimming too much, or you're not trimming enough, right? There's such a wide gap. There's such a wide spectrum between trimming too much and not trimming enough. If you're holding on to dead ends, cut it. Cut them. Cut your dead ends off. If you have a twist and your twist is not thick from the roots to the end, at the point where it starts to taper and fray, you need to cut it. If you have a braid and it's not thick from the roots to the ends, you need to cut it at the point where it tapers or frays. That is what is going to be beneficial for your hair retention. And that may sound very counterintuitive, but why am I cutting my hair if I want it to grow? Well, hair that is frayed, that has single strand knots, that is splitting, will continue being damaged and will really work its way up your hair shaft. So the splits start at the ends. You don't cut it, you just leave it because you want to have long hair. Well, over weeks and over months, what are the splits going to do? They're going to make a home for itself. They're going to get comfortable, and they're just going to go up and up. That is what your splits are going to do. So cut your hair. If your hair is trash at the ends, cut them. Cut them. Cut them. But then, on the other side, sometimes we trim too much. I have been guilty of this. Let your hair be. Don't be obsessed, and I still do this. So this is for me too. Do not be obsessed with cutting every single strand knot. Do not be obsessed with cutting every single strand knot. It is very tempting to want your ends to be clean, nice, and fleeky like they were when we were relaxed. But natural curly hair is going to tangle a bit. You don't want it to tangle too much. It is going to knot a little bit on the ends, especially if you have fine strands, where your strands easily, love up on themselves. Don't be obsessed with having super duper clean ends all the time. Now, there's a difference between having trash ends and having natural hair ends that are okay. You have to learn the difference. Don't be trimming every second, and this is to me because I trim a lot. I don't know how I've been able to retain length because my hands are always with some scissors, but just don't over trim, because if hair grows on average 6 inches a year and you're trimming 4 inches or 5 inches a year, you're never going to see growth. You're never going to see your hair truly thrive. And that's that on that. And the last point, I have so many more, but the last point for this video, because this video would be an hour, you need to stop listening to people tell you that you don't need protein treatments. Stop skipping protein treatment day. If you have low porosity hair, that doesn't intuitively mean, trying to use big words and stuttering, it doesn't intuitively mean that you need to avoid protein or that you're protein sensitive. If you have low porosity hair and you have fine strands, and a lot of us do because natural hair is very delicate, if you have fine strands, there ain't no way that you are avoiding protein, that you should be avoiding protein. When you have fine strands, you need to strengthen your hair at every corner. And that doesn't mean using a hardcore protein treatment like Apogee, that stinky stuff, and you spray it on your hair and your hair turns hard. You don't have to go hard, no pun intended, using Apogee, but you do want to use a protein-rich conditioner, a conditioner that has within its first five ingredients a protein, a hydrolyzed protein, hydrolyzed keratin protein, hydrolyzed wheat protein, something like that. Or having a deep conditioner that has a good percentage of protein, maybe one that has protein midway or somewhere in the ingredients, a moisture protein balancing deep conditioner. I have to go, that's a separate video in and of itself, but don't be afraid of protein. When you see protein in a conditioner, there's no need to tense up and get scared, because it could work for you. If your hair is breaking, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need a deep conditioner. Sometimes your hair is breaking because you need protein. Your hair is too fragile, it's too weak, and it needs to be reinforced with a protein. But again, it needs to be a hydrolyzed protein. Protein that is just like a silk amino acid or something like that. It sits on the outer layer of your hair, which obviously still works, it's important, but you do want a hydrolyzed protein because it actually can get into your hair strands and fortify your hair from the inside out. Other proteins will sit on your hair, create a barrier, but they really can't get into the hair strands because of their molecular structure. They're too big to actually penetrate into the hair shaft. But I did not want this video to be too technical and sciencey because y'all know I just be talking all the time. So I'm just going to end right there on that. But definitely do not be afraid to do protein treatments. Starting off, I would do, and I'm beginning to do this again to see if I like it again. I'm alternating weekly between a deep conditioner and a protein rich deep conditioner or a strengthening conditioner. So I'm doing, let's say I'll do my main choice peach black tea, which is one of my favorites. The next week I will do a Brahmi treatment, something that's more strengthening and Ayurvedic, and then I'll go back to my deep conditioner, and then I'll go back to the She Scented okra reconstructor or something like that. I will leave some of my favorite staple products down below for you. But yeah, this is it, y'all. This video could have been a lot longer. I have a lot more tips, so if you do want another, like a part 2 or something like that, definitely let me know, because I've only just grazed the surface of tips that I can provide to you of how to grow natural hair and things to avoid and whatnot. So if you are interested in seeing that, definitely give this video, you know, a little love, a little thumbs up, and comment down below and let me know. Let me know what your tips are for those of you who are growing out your natural hair. Let me know what your tips are for growing your hair long and beautiful. I would love to know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.